Monday Morning Leadership, Servant Leadership Roadmap. We're talking about characteristic number 5 today, empathy. Thanks for joining me. This is Brad. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As leaders, one of your greatest strengths, believe it or not, is empathy. However, in talking about this, you're not allowing emotions to make business objectives personal, and that can be your greatest weakness. So you do have to watch out. Remember, we're not making things personal, and we're not out to carry the weight of others' problems, right? Empathy, though, is your ability to understand someone's feelings, okay? And as we talked about last week, this requires listening. Listening and empathy go together. They're two characteristics of servant leadership. Developing empathy with the ability to manage your own emotions really demonstrates what's called emotional intelligence. Leaders need emotional intelligence. So developing the ability to recognize and manage emotions really helps evolve your professional abilities as well. Keep in mind, empathy is not a sign of weak leadership. And it doesn't mean that you'll give in to every concern of your team, of course. Empathy does not replace our personality. And it doesn't indicate that you assume the personal strife or emotional baggage of an individual, right? Emotional intelligence is not a reflection of one's IQ, and it has nothing to do with intellect. And to say all this doesn't mean that leaders are perfect. Of course, every leader has good and bad days. We all do, right? So it is important to consider how your mood or attitude can affect your team, though. For example, if having an off day significantly impacts your ability, your mood to interact with others, you might need to adjust your schedule accordingly. But empathy does provide the ability to develop trust with your team, and this is critical for a leader. Trust will provide an avenue for your team to share concerns with you. If they trust you, they'll share concerns. If they don't, they won't. Consider a team member that maybe proactively shares some information about a disgruntled individual, or a notification if they hear your project is missing the goal, or something like that. Part of effective leadership is taking the time to understand and address each individual's concerns. Sometimes individuals just want to vent, right? We want to offload our burdens on someone else, and that's okay up to a point. Sometimes we just want to share what's happening and not expect an action or a judgment. Sometimes you just want the ability to share with a trusted leader. And so you have to recognize that you need to respond. Okay, timing is everything, as they say. But you have to be mindful how you can interact with an individual. You want to be able to leverage empathy and understand the position of each individual as it's rooted in their own personality. As a leader, ask for input of the individual that's doing the specific process before making changes that directly impact their daily activities. That's really critical. The feedback that you receive might provide valuable insights and help improve efficiencies. So listening and receiving input are important. Make sure that they know you have their best interest in mind, that you're not just checking up on them. Remember, we talked about micromanaging last week. Nobody likes to be micromanaging. So now I want to address two questions. Why is empathy important in leadership? And what's in it for you as a leader? So as a leader, empathy creates a sense of trust that your team will develop with you, which will strengthen your leadership. Leadership really is all about trust. And this will lead to greater collaboration and engagement, and that's kind of what we're looking for as leaders. Remember, the higher your team engagement, the higher your team will perform. And some of the additional benefits of empathy for leadership are the ability to understand the root cause of someone that's unengaged or poor performance on your team. Why is that happening? And also the ability to support struggling individuals to succeed. Leaders succeed by empowering others. And you'll also enhance your professional relationships. Okay? Empathy gives you a window into your team. And developing empathy begins with active listening to an individual when they speak. So you want to listen beyond what they're saying, and it's more about how it is said. What's their body language? Do you hear excitement, anger, frustration, etc.? And next, you got to put yourself in the shoes of your team. The key to empathy really is being able to walk in someone else's shoes, as we say. You've been there, you've done that, so you can relate. But I have to say too, this does require some amount of life experience to be able to convey that. You got to understand their challenges and victories. Why are they hurting? That's important to know. And also encourage team members to share how they feel about their situations. So you want to ask yourself, why do they feel that way? Okay, and again, you have to listen to do that, and that will lead to empathy. So let's do a quick recap here this morning. Empathy is a vital characteristic of a servant leader, and it helps you to gain insights as to how individuals subconsciously and emotionally reacting to an initiative or situation. We want to know that as leaders. Through empathy, you further support your relationship with each team member, and you're trying to build trust. You can then identify struggling individuals and help set them up for success. Again, leaders want to empower and uplift others. That's where we're about on our 3LE, love, life, lift everyone. The servant leader is a humble leader, though, and I'm humbled to be here today. It's a leader who focuses on empathy that meets the team's needs and puts the team first. So I hope you enjoyed this segment, and if you liked it or got value from it, please feel free to share it or hit the subscribe button, or feel free to connect with me on the social media links that I'll provide. So join me Wednesday for a new series where I'll be going through John Maxwell's Thinking for Change and providing some of my own perspective on that. Have a great Monday, guys. Bye-bye.